listening to Hanging from the Rafters presents
You sing and you sing good.
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 Sing and you sing good.
Are we live right now?
We're live.
We're live. Hey, we're live.
Oh.
Welcome back to another musical segment of You Sing and You Sing Good. Today we have James Fraser here, and it's me and Chris Rafter doing the do. This is actually some groundbreaking for us because you are the first artist who has decided to actually come in. Everybody's been a call-in lately.
Yeah, man. I've always wanted to come and do one of these things. So, I've my last band that I was in, everybody was from San Jose, so I'm used to this drive. So I was into it. I was all about it. So
Yeah, most of the
having
guys
me.
we have, they usually call in. We've had a few people from out of country and then out of state as well. But yeah, we're really happy to have you here, and of course, you're always welcome, and we intend to have a I
Right on. I like what you guys have going on here. It's a pretty sick setup. So
Yeah, he
Thank
is
you.
the media man.
Yeah. I'm the media man.
the media man.
The media man.
That's it.
As you can see by the fine Bill, everything from Bill Cosby to where's another sex offender on here? Do you think?
Yeah, probably most of them.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice that.
You gotta have it. I love this.
That's the creepy
record
corner.
The
Yeah.
creepy
You
corner.
get to sit there and Bill stares at you the whole time.
Oh my god.
He gives you that goofy grimace too. From I mean, look at this. When I started out as a child, it's like he has that grimace that everybody makes fun of at work when you
just
walk
know
by
he's gonna
someone.
rape you.
Yeah,
It's guaranteed.
I'm gonna rape you.
It's just one of those things where all that shit happens and you're like, well, I'm not about to redecorate my room. So
And these were cheap.
Actually, I bought them after. And they're very cheap.
hell yes, right on.
So James, you play guitar
Yeah.
for a solo project. Do you have any other things going on right now, or is it just you yourself and you again?
Well, yeah, it's pretty much still just me right now. I just wrapped up like a year-long project was what I was doing, what you saw me doing, where I was writing, recording, producing, and releasing a song every week on Fridays. I called it the Nomad Project, was kind of like because I needed something to call it. And it was... As you could imagine, was pretty labor intensive. It was a really long year, but it was awesome, and it showed me that I could do that, which is a blessing and a curse because now if I'm just twiddling my thumbs, I feel like an asshole. But
Well,
so
I've already done the work. So.
yeah, so I wrapped that 52 weeks in November, and I, at the request of my loved ones, have forced myself to take some time off because everybody could tell that I was in need of a break, I guess. But I fucking hate it. It's the fucking worst thing I've ever
This
done.
is terrible.
Dude, like when you have something to do every morning when you wake up, and there's like just a giant checklist of shit to do, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, oh, I guess I'll watch YouTube or something
Yeah,
like that.
now you have to find ways to entertain yourself instead of
Yeah.
just, hey, I can go and write a shred really quick.
Yeah, because
Wanna-
I wait. I'm okay, thank you. I wait tables, so I don't work until 4:00 in the afternoon. So I wake up pretty early, and then that was when I got all that shit done. So but I'm about to move into a new place. It's got a bigger place, and I just got a new recording rig, a new computer setup. So what I've been doing in my time off, that's not super labor intensive, is I've just been writing a lot. Because all of that music I did was instrumental guitar shit, just me like kind of winking on the guitar.
Yeah.
Well, not even really. I mean,
You were writing actual songs. It's not like you
Yeah.
were just sitting there shredding in front of a camera.
yeah, and yeah.
Sometimes,
weird.
sometimes.
So, sometimes it felt that way, but yeah. So I'm getting geared up to dive into like a new. I don't think I'm gonna do once a week with vocals every week because that would be pretty nuts.
that would kill you.
I think what I'm looking for is something that still would take that amount of work, but it would all go towards like one thing. So maybe like one song a month or something like that. I'm still trying to work it out. I've been practicing my singing voice.
Singing.
Yes.
That makes me wonder. Didn't you sing? You had another band before called Jamanan.
Jamanan.
Did I say it right? I said it wrong, huh?
It was called Geminon.
Geminon. I'm sorry.
Geminon.
You know
it's been some time. Okay.
It's okay. It's all
I
good.
think that was
It's been
when
a
you were
really long time.
that reggae band Jamanan.
Jamanan, man.
Jamanan. Yeah.
Jamanan.
Dude, literally no one ever said it right. And it's, the funny part was I spent so much time coming up with a name for that band. It's the name of a planet from Battlestar Galactica.
Okay. I'm
So-
surprised you
Really?
didn't know
Dope.
that.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you didn't call that out right away.
Yeah. So some people read it and just like got it right away, and then everybody else was like, "Gemainen, what does that mean?"
What's Gemainen? Is it in Germany?
Yeah,
It's
They're like-
Geminon?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. Okay.
Yeah, and there was
That's
like
badass.
there was an A in the center. It's originally in the show spelled with an E in the center, but we switched it to an A, and then we basically ripped off Activision and had that A with like the fucking line that goes
You
underneath
gotta
the
do
rest
it.
of the letter.
You have to do it. It's right there for the picking.
Yeah.
No, it's different because there's words around it.
Yes, it's different. Yeah, so that was the last time I sang in an official capacity, and we put out one self-titled record. It took us about a year to put it out, and I'm super proud of that. I felt like I put a lot of energy into everything except the vocals in that band. Like I wrote stuff, and I was like I don't know, the lyrical content didn't seem very dense. Just didn't like. I go back and listen to it now, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like so obviously 21 or 22 years old, writing this shit.
I don't
so.
sound anything like this.
Yeah, now when I write stuff, because I'm a little bit older now, it's been a few years. I'm actually like trying to like work some shit out. So I think the product is a lot. I think it's just a bit better. So
Just looking back on the stuff that I tried writing for bands, it's just like, are you retarded? Like,
Man.
why would you think this is a good idea, Bryce? Like,
yeah, and it's funny because I think people like get so self-conscious about their output that like the vast majority of people just sit on it and never put it out, which is exactly why I did the project that I did. Was that I just like I had been writing songs since I've been recording technically since I was 18, and I'm 27 now, so I have like a bajillion demos of like really cool ideas, and I was just sitting on them, and like I just needed to get some shit out, you know what I mean, and an excuse to get good at mixing, engineering, recording, writing, and stuff, and yeah, it worked out pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if I would do it again. It was definitely I don't know if I can do another year of 52 songs and have them still be like good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of I want to step it up in terms of like the quality versus the quantity. So.
And quality's hard too, because like music's really subjective.
Yeah,
people,
man.
Even if you're writing for a specific genre or audience, things change week to week. It seems like now.
Hell yes.
A new band pops up and they're doing next level shit, and you're like, well, what was I doing this whole time? I that was one thing in my bands that I could never wrap my mind around. It always felt like it's like a step behind in terms of quality.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
It's hard to replicate.
Yeah, well, like basically especially in the metal world, I feel like everyone is still trying to sound like Misha and Periphery and shit.
Oh,
and, like,
yeah,
still,
yeah.
Like, because when he came out, it like completely changed the game, in my opinion, in terms of like
Periphery
like
was
modern metal
really
music.
really hot, like right when they came out.
Yeah, and so I think a lot of people are still trying to sort of like chase like that sort of sonic sound, and I was on that for a long time. I just, for me, it was I always wanted it to sound like whatever the new shit was, or like to have it sound professional and current. You know what I mean? I don't want people to like listen to it and straight off the gate, just be like, oh, this sounds like you made this in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Which, newsflash, I made all of my music in my bedroom.
100% of it, actually.
That's my secret.
Literally all of it.
How do I save so much money, you ask?
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I just wanted to. I didn't want to be like 40 and be like, man, I should have put out all those songs that I never put out. So I just did it anyways.
There are riffs that I still play to this day that never made it into it, like any kind of recording whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do I do, man? Like,
I know.
I stepped back from Soothing Sound in March, and like now that I'm like kind of like playing for myself, it's like I don't like anything that I write.
Yeah, I do miss having like a partner, a collaborative partner, because when I first started Geminon, I worked with my friend Ryan Alvarado, and he is such a peculiar musician. Like he writes really wild, outlandish stuff. Like so, it was perfect for like the whole prog scene.
Yeah.
And then what I did when I met him was he would like send me an idea, and then I would kind of like, I don't know, put my touch on it. And my touch was always trying to like make it a little bit more catchy or more commercial, I guess. But
That's what sells, man.
that combination I was sick. It really worked. And so
Sometimes there's somebody that's really good at writing with you. Like me and Jonathan were really good at writing. I had a couple people that I could really write with, but
yeah.
I mean, is it not easier though to on the same token or in the same token, be like, well, now I don't have to organize like 4 other guys or help to organize 4 other guys and agree and
Yeah, man.
like that's the toughest part I think in being in a band. Like
100%
all
the
these
hardest
people
part.
we've talked to so far, was it just one of them was Muggsy that was the only one on his own, the rapper, right?
Yeah, I mean the guy from Canada, he was basically just him, right? Or
It was like him and a drummer and I
Yeah.
think a bass player. We interviewed this guy from Canada in a folk band.
Sick.
Yeah, it was really interesting actually. Oh, when Meaty's batting stance, we still remember you.
Well, it's like what's on top right now is it's rap and hip hop. Like
Yeah.
who's involved in that?
EDM.
Like the rapper and the producer, like 2 people at the most. Sometimes they're all one person. You know what I mean? And
that's always been the thing about rap is you can just make that in your room.
you can just make it in your room and it can fucking blow.
What's
Yeah.
that picture
You
of
know?
like the mattress and like a shower
yeah.
curtain over the side? It's like when your homie that raps says he's going in the studio.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's
It's so
exactly
true,
what it
man.
looks like.
Really?
It's so true, man. Like some of like the sickest rappers like that I know personally that are like friends of mine, like you know, like in Half Moon Bay where I'm from and stuff. You go see their setup and it's just like, yeah, it's just like fucking a room with nothing in it. There's no soundproofing. Like you don't
Yeah.
that shit doesn't even matter anymore.
It doesn't.
It really doesn't. And
Microphones are much better than they used to.
you
be.
know, they all run Logic off or like fucking Fruity Loops on a fucking laptop. They have Splice
It's
and they
done.
get all their samples from it, and it's just.
They downloaded everything illegally.
And you know, I've talked to
Hell
younger
yeah.
kids who listen to, you know, all the current popular stuff, and they don't fucking give a shit how it's made. So
I think those days are over now. Like
yeah,
analog used to be like as technology's grown, analog is slowly becoming that thing. It's like, oh yeah, and I do that too. Like more and more people are accepting the digital, you know, aspect of
I feel like EDM has kind of killed like any kind of. You don't need to be an artist anymore. Like if you can just make something on your computer, like you could be a millionaire and you can fucking be in these huge concerts and whatever the hell.
well, what's really crazy is that you know, you can just be a producer or a DJ
Yeah.
and literally just take, you know, shit like the stems from another person's song, re-put it together, put it out as a remix under your name,
Yep.
and it'll get more action than, you know, a guy who made an original piece of electronic
Yeah.
music. You know
get
what I mean?
crucified for that if you or I were to do that with a guitar.
Right? I
They'd
mean,
freak the fuck out.
yeah, like it's only cool if you're like a DJ taking, you know, a metal song or like a guitar song and then making like an electronic version. You know, like the Polyphia kids.
Yeah.
They're crushing that.
Yeah,
with,
these guys are like 24, 25 years old, and they're like taking over the planet in terms of like alternative metal, dude. Like they're literally
So what they have like it's like EDM influence.
yeah, kind
metal.
of. They make everything in their room and they write everything like on a piano in front of the computer.
Yeah, well, they're to start it off, they're just savage musicians. They're
They're insanely
insanely good at their instruments. I've seen them play live. They back
Yep.
that shit up. So they start with that, but they're also kind of they started off as like a more of an instrumental metal outfit, but as they grew, they're kind of like just riding a line right now between like, you know, the metal guitar and then like the sort of electronic hip hop sound almost. And
You can hear it a lot in the new CD too. That they're going more
yeah.
towards the hip hop side.
exactly. And you know,
That's when I think it becomes more acceptable when it like mimics a different genre, like
yeah,
kind of how they do. I don't know. I think it
Where's
has a
your
lot to do
audience?
with the skill.
yeah.
I mean,
It's hip as
we
fuck,
went
dude.
to a show. Me and my girlfriend in it was at the August Hall in San Francisco. I want to say it was this past year in like March or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing, and it was so weird to be the only people wearing shirts that had like metal font on it. Everybody, I'm telling you, man, everybody's
Those
wearing.
kids look mean.
Everybody's wearing like it's like a white T-shirt with like the short sleeve button up, like the island shirt or whatever, and then like the boat shoes, the Sperry's or whatever, and shorts.
Tell me
like,
they're moshing.
No, dude. Well,
Oh,
like,
no boat
a
shoes
little bit
moshing?
for like a cool minute, but it was like a giggle pit. But they were like just
I've never
pushing on each other.
heard that, but I totally know what
My
you're
roommate
saying.
coined the term. I loved it. The giggle
Jesus
pits,
Christ.
man. It's like when a pop punk band plays and no one wants
Yeah,
to hurt each
just
other, but they
kinda
kind of want to
bump
get.
Yeah, but there's all these young cool hip kids wearing Supreme shit, and you're like you're like the goth old man.
Yeah,
in the
I look like
back.
a fucking mook, man. I'm like, me and my girlfriend are in there wearing like the faceless Fallujah, and then it's like everything else is.
Yeah.
What is this, man? They did used to be metal though. They used to be
They
like
did.
a pretty heavy metal project too.
Yeah, for sure. And it's I'm stoked for bands like them because what we were saying earlier is that it's so hard to coordinate a group of musicians. But if you're a group of musicians where everyone in the band is like dialed in, I mean that's fucking unstoppable shit right there. You know,
and they're gonna go far with it.
Because there's almost always like at least one guy in the band who is like either the genius who writes everything,
Yeah, the brainchild.
or the guy who just gets everyone's shit together, right? But like when like those guys are all doing, it from my perception, they're all pulling their weight. So I think
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't seem like that's an issue.
I think that's a huge part of why they're where they're at, because they're all working their asses off, and you're gonna get a lot farther with 5 people working hard, or 4 people, however many they are, than one dude.
Yeah,
So,
see, I think doing it on your own though is beneficial in the way that like nowadays, like we were saying, everybody's kind of moved to digital. It makes it so much easier that like if you wanted to do that, you don't have to balance those people, and you can literally, like you're doing, release all of your material yourself.
Yeah,
To a high quality too.
for sure. Yeah.
Still being able to market it for free even sometimes.
Yeah.
Like some of these platforms are actually pretty decent advertising and just in terms of getting your music out there.
Yeah.
Not necessarily getting you paid, but
Yeah, man. I mean, there's some, there's absolutely no excuse now. Like if you have a desire to make music and put it out, you can do it for not very much money, man. Like
No, not like it used to be.
distribution. You can get distribution for like $20 a year. Spotify, I think you just have to pay for like a regular premium account. It's like $10 a month or something.
Ours just on Spotify, and I just put it. You just submit it, and that's it.
That's it. And it's cool. The hard thing to tackle for me right now is Spotify, because it's so like congested, and like what I'd like to do is to try and get some music on playlists and stuff, but like the way that you do that is I guess I did it completely wrong. I would like write, so like a month would start and I would put out each song, and then at the end of that month I'd put it on Spotify. But I guess if you want to like get potentially placed on playlists, you got to like write the song, or like you have to have the song finished and you have to send it to them like 8 weeks before it's supposed to be released. Or like like the further out you send it to them, the more likely it is to get,
Get on a
because
playlist.
they get
So
so
like
many.
Spotify playlists, like
Yeah.
sponsored playlists.
Yeah, because that's how that gets a lot more traffic to your Spotify page.
Yeah, because I guess people just are not maybe searching specific artists, but like just a type of music they want to put. play and
Exactly.
walk
No,
away.
yeah, they're big. And I'm guilty of it too. Like I'll pick one song while I'm driving, and I'll look it up by its name, so it's just the one song. But then when the song finishes, it'll just create some playlist or something, or
Yeah.
just go off on some random shit for me, and I'll be like, "Oh, this is sick." And every once in a while, I've discovered definitely a lot of music on Spotify.
Yeah.
I think it was on Spotify that because of something like that I discovered Whiteek, which is like I don't even know where they're from. Or
I've heard of
or
them.
shit.
Yeah.
But it's like really good, and it's like, oh, this is cool. You hear a band that you can actually take home with you, not like just something that's for radio, but
yeah.
you get lucky sometimes.
You get a lot of the related artists. I have discovered a shit ton of music. Like, just find someone I already like, and then just kind of follow the trail.
Yep. Exactly.
So
So
it's like you don't have to play a show anymore. You just have to get on Spotify and like really sell yourself.
Sell yourself.
Yeah.
Yourself.
But doing it on your own is, like I said before, it's a blessing and a curse, because you're the captain of your own ship, but you're the captain of your own ship. So
Everything lives and dies by your decision.
if you wake up and do nothing, you did nothing all day.
Congratulations.
There's not somebody, at another in another house who's getting something done for you. It's all.
You should
it's all on
find
you.
like someone to yell at. God damn it, computer! Why didn't you make the music for me?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch! They're like inches short from like just punching shit on Guitar Pro and transferring it to some software that actually plays it like it's got a real tone.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how reamping Guitar Pro through.
Fuck, dude, it's crazy, man. Like the technology is so hysterically good that like people have like not naming names that have legitimately gotten away with like just not actually playing their instruments. You know what I mean? And like it's good. It's good. Some of it's good. I mean, there's a giant audience for it. You know what I mean? So.
Well, hey, some people want to hear robots, man. Like
It's totally a thing. It's edgy as fuck.
What does he say? You would if you had robot ears.
Yeah.
You'd like it if you had robot ears.
It's like everyone talks shit about hardcore, like it's all exactly the same shit. It kind of is, but I mean,
dude, I totally
if you like that. Like, it's your shit.
My whole opinion on hardcore has changed because I talked a lot of shit about it coming up, especially when I was in like a real band. You know what I mean?
Oh, was it a real? We actually like
prog guys really like to talk shit about hardcore.
Oh yeah.
Well, dude, so like that's kind of where I was. Like, I entered that scene at about 19. And my band would play shows with some hardcore bands, and boy, did those audiences not click
No.
at all.
It's a very different
like
crowd.
straight edge, fucking windbreakers and snapbacks and shit.
Beating the
Shit
shit
I
out of each other.
actually wear now, but
Yeah, you used to make fun of it. Now you're like, that's actually really comfortable.
then I lost my hair, so I was like, all right, I guess this is the look. But
It was made for me.
But my opinion on it's totally changed. Like I get it now because I've heard a lot of. It does all sound the same, or in the sense that like it's easy for you to make that statement. But I've heard a few of the bands that were like that had their own sound, and some of it like maybe it's just because I got older and like more bitter, so I just got more pissed off.
That's what did it.
And and the thing I will never understand is the hardcore dancing. But like I totally
used to be life, bro.
I totally get like the Sonic vibe, of listening to that shit. So
It's like, I mean, it's just a like punk revival, right?
yeah.
It's like
It's just something about when the room's getting fucked up, everyone's
Yeah,
hitting
man.
each other.
Well, it's
fucking wild.
It's that dude. I saw the Dillinger Escape Plan on their like farewell. Their what was that album
that
called?
final tour.
A Disassociation tour, and they played at the fucking Parkside in San Francisco, which is about the size of this room.
It's not big enough for
That's
this.
how you see that band.
It was like the Makla with a slightly bigger stage.
It was
Yeah,
sold.
418 Project.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it was a sold out show. And so when I was really young, I grew up in a punk scene, and I played in a couple punk bands. I was like the young kid. I was like 14 or 15, and like the 18-year-old high school kids like got me to play bass for them or drums for them or shit. So I played at some like sketchy places in Oakland here and there, and what I remember about it was the same thing I felt at that Dillinger show, which is like legitimate threat.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
clear and present danger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
keep your head on the swivel.
And like
Knock the fuck out.
I think that might be a hard thing for some people to understand, that like it's not necessarily something people would associate with music, but like there was a real raw just energy and atmosphere at those shows that like you had to really pay attention, because if you didn't, you get fucked up. When at that Dillinger show, Ben is the guitarist, right?
I believe so. Yeah, the one on
Ben
right?
Ben Weinman, I think.
Weiland.
Dude, he jumped straight into me because I was like, I somehow got pushed to the front, which is a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
And dude, like I remember it. I think I got rocked, dude. But like it was like 6 strings just straight to the cheekbone. You know what I mean?
And I'm assuming they're coming from the headstock and not the neck or the bridge.
No, it was the body.
Oh,
he went straight into me, dude. Because he went to go jump into the crowd, but it was, and I wasn't even mad.
Stage ain't that tall.
Because I experienced that as a kid growing up, going to punk shows and shit. Like I was like, oh my god, you dumb asshole! Like of course this shit's gonna happen, but like there's something very satisfying about that type of show. So.
Oh man, you just go. We used to go to the Cave over in San Jose. I don't know if you ever heard of that one, but that was like one of the local production.
Cave, yeah.
It was like one of the local production companies. You ever heard of the band the Fighting Jacks?
Oh man, that sounds so fucking familiar.
They were big for like a minute, like just like I mean literally like maybe 2-3 years tops.
Yeah, local band.
Local, like San Jose local, and they used to play like everything from like small shows to like Music in the Park to like national tours with like Strata when they were actually on their way and making it and stuff. They used to play like national tours and stuff too, and gotten pretty big there on Tooth and Nail, and the bassist ran this particular venue. So they had bands like The Chariot coming through with Evergreen Terrace. I remember like that show just being booked, and it was completely packed out, and just everybody was crammed in there, but everybody was moving at the same time.
Yeah.
Or like when Haste the Day came through.
That's exactly how it was. Yeah.
That metalcore band Haste the Day came through, like a Christian metalcore band
That's
or
a
whatever,
throwback,
which is
yeah.
very interesting sound. And you know,
You're showing your age.
I was
it's a basic. Hey, you know what,
I
dude?
was
Back in my
there.
day,
Dude, they had that one song. I forgot how it went, but it went hard.
they had that one song, and it was good.
Well, because they
It was Blue 42. That's the one they'd open with, right?
Yeah, they came out. They were coming up the same time as I Lay Dying.
Yes, exactly. They were
yeah.
basically As I Lay Dying.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, except they weren't. One of my
true Christian.
One of my friends I grew up with, his cousins, one of the guitar players in As I Lay Dying. So he took me to an As I Lay Dying show in like 2004 or 5. It was when Shadows or Security was like just coming out. Like
That's a good album.
I don't even think the Confined music video had come out yet. And we went and saw them play at Slim's, and so I've been listening to that band ever since.
Lost your damn mind.
I am personally stoked that they are back, but
I'm indifferent.
yeah,
You know, like
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Let's see if the music's really that
I thought
good
the Faceless
for
was
long
gonna
enough.
be good too when they came back, and then we saw
Well-
them live, and it was terrible.
Well, the one single that they made, My Own Grave or whatever, I really dug it. So, and you know, I really like everybody in that band. Like, it's not just one dude. You know, there's like 4 other fucking dudes.
Each member
you know?
has been pretty much there since the beginning for the most part.
and put their entire life into that band. So it's nice to see at least them getting to go back out and play and shit.
I wonder
so.
how his wife feels about it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing's fucked up, but at least they acknowledge it. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody in that band is trying to shy away from what
I
happened.
mean,
I
fuck
mean-
it. Who gives a shit?
Dude.
Just keep making good music. Whatever. I don't care about your story. This is metal. Nobody gives a fuck about what you're doing. Everyone's a piece of shit. That's everyone.
What is
Yeah.
it that Hard Times that came out that was like, new study finds that metalheads tend to like drugs and alcohol or whatever? And it's like, yeah, no shit, dude. Like, we're at a show. Like, everybody's either drinking or smoking or something. Like, that's
Yeah.
what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why the straight edge kids in hardcore never made sense to me. It's like, you guys, you don't want to have fun too?
That is a unique thing. And you know, I've also noticed there's a lot of vegans.
Vegan edge, bro.
Vegan,
Yeah, that's a
straight
big thing
edge,
now.
hardcore, and it's like it's not a friendly vegan.
No, they'll kick your ass.
It's
I'll whoop your ass, vegan.
Those are always the craziest
it-
fuckers, though.
yeah.
Straight edge fuckers.
It's like if you talk about eating meat in front of me, I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm just like,
This seems
it's a unnecessary.
Uh,
little harsh.
So I was like, you seem really uptight, man.
Can I tell you about
That's a lot.
Like,
that's
I-
a lot for over a hamburger, man. Kick my ass.
Can I tell you a story that involves me going somewhere to get something to eat really quick
Oh,
that you would
man.
assume there was meat and it's just a small part of the story?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I had to think about it.
I respect that shit, man. I actually tried the whole vegan thing just because why not? Give it a shot. You know what I mean? I mean, the whole factory farming thing is fucked up, but
Yeah.
but dude, going on a vegan diet is hard.
Dude, and being healthy when you do it too.
Yeah, and not wanting to jump out a fucking window at the same time. You know,
Dude, Soothing Sounds first bassist Anthony, he was vegan. And
Yeah.
he was trying to do
Vegan strong.
like the bodybuilder thing, not necessarily bodybuilder, but he was trying to be vegan strong, man.
Yeah.
And he was so dedicated to it, and there was never a thing, but it was just impressive to me, like how much food this dude had to eat every day,
Dude.
to like, you know, I gotta build muscle, but I also have to make sure I don't get sick.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of nutrients I'm just not getting, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, what? I thought you could just eat food like
Yeah.
that was like from the ground and you're fine, like eat a potato.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not quite how it works, man.
Yeah, you miss so much shit. You got to supplement shit. Like like I said, I have a lot of respect for people who do it successfully because it's a lot of work, you know.
And then they play hardcore.
Yeah, exactly.
Live that life.
But for me, yeah, that's why no wonder they're in a hardcore band. They're so fucking hungry.
That's why they're so angry all the time.
Yeah.
They're pissed off at people that are eating the food that's polluting this planet.
Yeah, for me personally, it's like there's only so many things I can worry about in a day, and I didn't pick that one. So
It sure makes for interesting topics in music. I'm looking at you, Cattle Decapitation. It definitely makes for some interesting ass topics. Now, they're
Right.
not necessarily vegan hardcore or anything like that, but it's like the closest that I could think of immediately in the death metal realm.
yeah. So do you play music, Raptor?
No, but I've been going to shows for Jesus Christ, 15 years.
Yeah, since we were like
Metal
16,
shows.
14,
Yeah.
14, right? Like freshman, sophomore year?
I think when we were like 15, we were going like twice a weekend.
Sick.
We're going Friday and
my
Saturday.
earrings all fucked up, like
I
for
miss
sure
that
from
shit,
that
man.
shit. It was the best. Those were the best times.
Yeah, I always wondered if it's just the times or if it's just our age, like, you know, why we feel like, you know, people aren't going to as many shows.
I think it comes in lulls, but I think personally, like on that kind of level, I think a lot of it has to do with, like, back then we were just discovering this kind of scene and this culture.
Yeah.
Like, when you went to a show, it didn't really matter who was playing. Most of the time, if you went to a show that was like, it's going to be a heavy show, that's really all you knew. You didn't know what the bands were. Some of them was gonna be,
Just wanted to be there.
we would see shows with like a metalcore band, a hardcore band, and a screamo band, and like none of the two sounded the same. But we would end up just being like, that was pretty cool, man. Let's go get their CD, and you wanted to be part of it.
Yeah.
And like, you know, now people are not so. I don't know. Maybe there's not enough. Maybe we were just young at the time, and that was just
It has kind
but-
of lulled. I don't. It's not nearly as big as it was.
Well, you know what's
5
really
years ago
it's becoming more and more obvious to me because, you know, these tours keep getting announced and all of these bands are not coming here. They're coming.
That's
they're,
it. No
they're-
one comes
they're-
here
They're
anymore.
hitting Sacramento.
Yeah.
Or
it's a pain in the ass.
Petaluma and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Pomona every now and
Pomona,
again. I know
yeah.
BT Bam is only doing
Yeah.
like a couple. I think one of them's Sacramento and the other
Yeah.
one's like Los Angeles. And
There
they're
was
not,
a
they're
small
not even
amount of
touching-
time where we actually had some decent sized bands that played in San Jose or Santa Cruz. Like
Yeah.
Terror used to play here.
Well, we
and
had
shit
that.
Yeah,
like
we had
that's
that
all.
fucking one club for a hot second. That Machine Head played out. It was just called Rock Bar or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yes, that's right. I
Yeah.
saw Alien Ant Farm there when they came back for.
Oh,
a bit.
yeah, it was-
I think they're still playing now.
That didn't
venue-
last long.
That place was
venue
good.
Was so sick.
I got
It
to
was
play there
so
one
sick.
time.
What happened?
There was no one there.
It was there
There
and it
was
was gone.
no one lived here to go there.
Yeah,
you know?
No one
It-
went.
It was a giant place. Like, even I noticed, like, when I went and saw my friend's band play, I was like, this place is so big, and we're just in like one part of it. You know what I mean?
Like, this is where they have the show, but you can go back to the bar and like talk to people, not yell at them. You could talk to them.
Yeah, it's pretty legit.
There was, you know, you can hear the music, but
It's a good design.
Yeah, and then obviously they tore down the Avalon like 150,000 years ago. But,
yeah, that's what it seems like. That's where we used to play together every now and again. I remember they had a
yeah, I think that's where our bands
Beyond the Realms of Metal Fest was there,
Something
and then
like
a
that,
couple of
yeah.
other. They had like Battle of the Bands. The pinup did there every
yeah,
year.
we played there with Behold the Desecration.
I'm wearing their shirt right now.
One of the only bands I can remember from then. Shout out to Behold the Desecration, Brian Mojica. What up?
Bryce is taking his clothes off.
I'm taking my clothes off right now. Oh, Behold the Desecration. We're talking to you. Thanks for coming on the show that one time whilst being invisible and silent.
I remember that. That was fun.
I don't remember, like, I think I was wearing this shirt and that's how it popped up. But like, someone's here and like we didn't know who it was and someone suggested it was them and I'm like, it is. Fuck it, why not?
Ah, fuck
Any
it.
of you guys want to jump on here? I know you're doing Lost in the Void stuff right now, but you can still join. Right about here, right? Yeah.
You don't have to be so up on.
And Brian's got the whole Wolf King thing going right now.
Oh, he's killing it, dude.
It's fucking.
Dare I say, I'm jealous.
It's so cool. It's so cool to
Yeah.
see like
Him and Connor are doing it.
It's-
Connor's playing drum. Do you know Connor?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah, so
it's so cool to see.
I know those two guys.
It's so cool to see people that I've known. It just not super well, but just like through the music scene, like here locally, like go through all of these like generations of bands and then finally land somewhere that like actually takes off.
Yeah, I
That's
mean
super
it's pretty
satisfying.
incredible. It's pretty incredible to see, you know, like how fast they've done it.
And they're sick.
They are fucking heavy. Jonathan said that he saw them in Tahoe one time, and he's like, I can't get over that they just have one guitar player.
Dude, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
It's such a trip, dude. It just shits on that whole, you know, theory that you got to have
gotta have
two
two.
guitarists. It's like, I don't know, man.
Guy kills it, man. Wolf King, get on here.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, that's a good band, man, and it's cool to see, like you said, it's cool to see your friends like achieve those milestones because I mean, you know, you get to achieve some yourself, and then like kind of see like what it took from someone else to get there too. You know? To be able to have that opportunity.
Yeah, and you know, like, you know, anyone who's ever played in a band knows that there are the musicians in the band who you just know in 5 years they're gonna be, you know, working at Facebook or some shit. Like they're really just there for the moment, you know. But every band hopefully has at least that one guy who's like legitimately trying to go the distance, you know.
Yeah, take it home.
And then go 10 years, and you know, eventually they all find their own spot. So
It's funny. It's such a life to want to go on tour and perform, you know, 5 nights out of the 7-day week. Is that something that you're still trying to do? Gotta get that goddamn dog.
That
Probably
is
just like a delivery for dinner.
powerful beast.
Oh yeah, it's that pit bull, man.
No, it's something I've always wanted to do. I've never done it. You know what I mean? So many of my friends have done it so extensively, so I kind of get the gist of it that it's pretty fucking gnarly. It's
yeah,
pretty brutal.
in both good and bad ways.
Both good and bad ways. I mean, yeah, it's ugly. It's ugly but satisfying work. So I would definitely like to at least give it a shot. Doing the solo stuff, it's hard. I mean, I would have to find people who want to play my music and convince them to
Listen,
come
I have
on.
no money.
You know, well,
Come with me.
Exactly. So, kind of one thing I simultaneously do besides write my own music is try to just get myself to a point where like I'm available if somebody needs like a fill in or something like
yeah.
that. I can just hop on, learn the music and go for it. That's the other beauty of just being on my own is that I don't have to work out my schedule with anybody because
It's you.
I can just do whatever I want.
See, that seems like it'd be fun is to go on a tour with another band and learn their stuff. Jonathan got the chance to do that with Wrath when they were touring. And he said it was a challenge, but it was super worth it because
Yeah.
you get a little taste. It's not permanent. Like you get to go and move on to the next thing if you want.
Yeah.
And it works out. Or sometimes you get to stay and you get to do more.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
just seems like a good excuse to travel.
One crazy idea that I had was because I actually did play one show by myself with backing tracks. I
I was
played
just gonna ask you.
That's
about that, you
cool.
son of a bitch.
I played that this dad rock festival called Fog Fest it's in this town called Pacifica, which is right north of Half Moon Bay. It's basically like their equivalent to Half Moon Bay's Pumpkin Festival. You know, it's basically like 12 dad bands, like blues, jazz, a couple reggae bands, and then some dude who plays really loud heavy metal guitar music by himself, and tries to and in the daytime, so no light show, so he has to try and make it as entertaining as possible. But I love playing. I think it's like the biggest thing that's missing from my life right now is going out and playing because you know I played that show and I know for a fact I fucked up like 300 times, like brutal mistakes, but I just didn't care, you know, because like the whole anxiety of the build up to getting there and then the release, like that first 30 seconds when you start and then you can just sort of dig into it. And you know, even when you look up and you only see one person who's into it or something like that.
Sometimes that's all you need.
But I thought if I could get something together that was visually entertaining enough, maybe I could go out by myself. But I don't know. Playing by yourself is very exposing, you know.
Oh yeah, because you're the
all
only
you.
person to look at.
So if people like know the music and know what to hear for, and it's just me playing, like they're gonna hear it.
Oh yeah, big time. We played with Jason Richardson and Luke Holland one time, and just seeing that dynamic with just two people was like that was really interesting. But with guys like that, that's how you see like they really are as good as
They
you
really
hear.
are as good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no difference there. And then
There's fucking no doubt about it.
yeah, I mean, I can't, doing it on your own, like as one person, you just basically got to go like Blues Traveler on that one, don't you? Just sit on your amp and just like
Dude, like, well, it's interesting because
kick it back, rock on
it's-
it while you're sitting.
it's not when you bring it up, it's interesting because there's not a lot of people doing it. I don't think there's hardly anybody doing it. So there's kind of no template. You could just fucking figure it out. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm a very funny person, but like maybe if like I could like have like it sort of feel like a show, but also like in between songs I like talk or do bits or something like that.
Something to keep
the
you
fuck
entertained.
knows? Have you ever seen Opeth live?
No.
Opeth's their lead singer Michael Ackerfeld is so fucking funny. And like in
really?
between songs, he just talk. Like I don't think any of his shit was rehearsed, but like I remember like and guys like who I look up to like Devin Townsend and stuff like that. They always made me laugh during their sets.
I always found Horse the Band was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Like in between the things they said, like you're cracking up. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Eat shit and die. Bye.
Yeah, we saw them once and they're like, this song is for your mom and her hole.
Yeah, like Oliver from Archspire, like he would just say the nastiest shit in between songs, but it was hilarious,
Yeah.
And so if like I said, if there's just a way to make it entertaining enough for people, because I think I'd only have to come up with like 20, 25 minutes at first.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're playing corporate parties.
And also,
Corporate metal.
I thought about it. I was like, and if I tour the country with this act, I can do it in my fucking Honda Civic.
Dude, coffee shop that shit, man. Hey, let me borrow your PA.
Yeah.
Sleep in the car.
Everything fits in the back seat. It's all good. I'll just buy a shotgun, keep it under the
Probably
seat.
a good call.
Yeah. Just somebody
Great
shows up.
call.
What's going on?
How you doing today? Can I help you?
Yeah.
I got a show tonight.
But yeah, I want to play. I'm missing that.
It's an itch, man.
You gotta get
It
back
totally
out there.
is.
Yeah.
I see that in him. Like since you've stopped playing, you can tell. Like it's like you're gonna get in there.
It's just I gotta do something, man.
I gotta play music in front of
Just-
people.
I
It's
gotta.
just
I
something.
don't know. It's like it's an. I don't know if it's an ego thing. It is an ego thing. It's like an ego thing where like you want to be able to go up there like people you've seen before and like make everyone stoked about what you wrote. Like, dude, just check this out for a minute. And like
Yeah.
when people are, it's like the most amazing feeling. You can play a cool ass show and like everybody's having a good time. Like there's nothing better. There's nothing more energizing.
It's like you're the like I know it because I've been in the audience. Like get a couple drinks in you. Wolf King's up on stage and they're crushing it. And it's like when I first saw them for the first time, I hadn't heard their music before, but I was just feeling it right there in that moment.
It's how
and
you know it's
and
good.
it had nothing to do with the lyrics or anything. It was just something I felt, and like the guys on stage are feeling something like that too. So
I mean, they go pretty hard on stage. Like Spite's playing tonight. Those guys headbang pretty fucking hard too.
man, those guys
They
are
have very good stage presence
Yeah.
those guys. Yeah.
for such a young band.
That's another guy who I saw come up for a long time.
Darius and his brother.
Yeah. And I think it's the only thing you can't download. You know what I mean? You can't download that experience
Yeah.
yet.
Not yet.
Hey,
Hey, we're live streaming the show tonight,
it
bro,
would
from
still,
our
like-
living room.
If you ever watch like a live stream of a concert, it's boring.
It can be, at least.
I mean,
It's better
it's
to have
it's,
the people around you.
It's I look at
About the experience.
I look at live footage of bands as like customer reviews or like customer photos of like products you're gonna buy on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's like because I did see a video of Spite playing and I was like, fuck, man, like that's it's a really really tight performance,
Yeah.
Heavy, tight, and just like generally those guys on that stage. I mean, I feel like they're gonna fall apart when they walk off, like in literal pieces.
Yeah, and it goes back to what we were saying about hardcore and like an actual sense of threat,
Definitely.
It's
You
important.
could see it on the stage in that band.
Yeah, because I feel like everybody.
That guy might hit me.
I think everybody subconsciously likes being around that energy because at the same time you're not actually gonna get like super hurt or anything like that.
get some
your
bumps.
adrenaline's pumping.
But also like we live such safe lives, a lot of people, you know what I mean, so they want to experience that sort of visceral type of energy.
Yes.
When the mosh
Definitely.
pit started, man.
That's how exactly. I mean, just look at the bliss on those kids' faces that are just
running
pushing
into
the
each
fuck
other.
out of each other. Yeah,
Dude,
man.
thrown on the ground and then flipped back up. Like,
Yeah.
It's
holy
amazing
shit.
because I'm 27 now, and a lot of the times when I go to shows, I'm the dude standing at the back, just like I'm just trying to get take it
Me
all
too.
in and all that stuff. But every once in a while, there's that band, and that one song comes on, and you're just like, "Fuck it, hold my beer." And you just
Hold my
fucking-
beer. I'm gonna kill someone right now.
You're just like, I'm gonna go probably pull something, but I'm gonna go in there,
Oh,
fucking
man.
do it.
White Wall when BT Bam played in Santa Cruz a couple of years ago
Mm-hmm.
on that Colors tour, man. Oh my
I
God.
fucking missed that. It was a giant.
I had to go in there and
mistake.
wash.
What is that band from Santa Cruz? The big band out of Santa Cruz.
Arsonist?
Yeah. That fucking song was like,
Versus the Other Girls.
like when that part
Oh,
plays, you're just like, oh shit, everyone's gonna get hurt.
City of
Look
Angels
around.
Cakewalk.
Yeah, you
Just
know
that,
it's
on
coming.
that when he plays it on the keyboard, you're like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
That spooky. Was it the microkorg? Is that what they were playing on? The little
I
synthesizer
think
they had?
so. Yeah,
That thing was fucking savage though, man. Like they're sitting there like headbanging over it. It's like this big.
it's so.
It's like the size of a lunchbox, man.
Just like
It's
knocking
so
it over while
it's
he's
so
doing it.
emasculating to be on stage, and so I'm just like, right? Like you go see like Dream Theater, and Jordan Rudess has this like fucking giant submarine keyboard. He's just fucking, and then you go see like BT Bam, and he's got like this tiny little thing up here.
I'll just go ahead and.
Fuck,
He's
if you
gotten
can
a
make
lot.
keyboard look badass, then more power to you.
He's gotten a little bit better with the keyboard rig, but it's
No, it's way sicker now.
Yeah, it's still small. He does a lot more playing though. I've noticed.
Man, their new shit is awesome.
It is way proggier too. It's like, I mean, it is some zany shit at times.
Yeah.
I remember watching the show and I was like, I don't know why, but I did not imagine it sounding like this when I would see them live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to think of the song. It starts out big band. I can't remember what it's called for the
Yeah,
life
I
of me
know
right
exactly
now.
what you're talking about.
It's
Yeah.
it's like Road to Promise or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyhow, like when that song's going on, I was just like, this is pretty cool. The one thing that was a
It's
little
like-
disappointing was that, like, they didn't actually have a big band, so it was like you could tell.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know they're gonna do that at some point, like where they did on the Parallax album.
Yeah, that would be pretty
and they
wild.
had like the actual instrumentalists play with them as well.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
So they're gonna do some shit like that. But that new album is good.
Yeah.
Millions is probably my favorite song on the first one or second one.
Dude, yeah. I mean, it's happy. It makes me happy that, you know, like a band like that is still leading that kind of stuff. You know, like still pushing themselves. They
I
haven't.
listened to them in high school, man.
They haven't gotten
on the way to
stale at all.
science class.
Dude, I remember seeing Between the Buried and Me when they weren't prog.
They were just like,
like-
almost strictly metal.
Yeah, like
A little
they
before.
played at Ozfest in 2005, which was like, in my opinion, still to this day one of the greatest lineups of all time.
Dude.
But like the
System was on it and-
every single band on the side stage or the second stage, every single band is like an iconic band now. But nobody knew who the
They
fuck
know
they
how
were.
to pick them.
Like
That's
Mastodon was there for the fucking that album that, what was that album called? The one with Iron Tusk or whatever on it.
That was when they released that when you guys saw them play with Children
that
of
was my
Bodom
first
and Slayer.
metal concert.
Yeah.
So it was that same album. I cannot remember. I
Rob
was never
Zombie
good with
was
that.
on the second stage.
Just ridiculous bands, dude.
Yeah, man. I saw Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden in the same night.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
I've never seen Maiden. That'd be cool.
And
Dude.
and then BT Bam actually gets
He
to
still
play on
got
that
it,
show
even though
too.
he's older. Like he could still do
He
that.
still
voice.
got it. He's
That's
like,
incredible.
I fly planes, bitch.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, you see a guy who like literally just running nonstop and just belting perfect notes.
Yeah.
Waving a fucking British flag or some shit.
Yeah.
It's totally nuts.
It's like, how are you alive?
They just don't make it like that anymore, you know? Like you go to a Post Malone concert and he's just like hopping around.
I'll give him
I can't
credit.
do
He
live
actually
rap.
sings.
It's just boring.
He actually sings. I'll give him credit.
I give Post Malone a lot of credit because I have seen him play music. So
But yeah, it's also
he fits. He checks off the box.
This
You know
guy
what I mean?
dance.
I still don't know if I would go see him play though. I
no
mean,
waste of time.
I remember I saw an Atmosphere show and he had a live band and that was pretty
That
cool.
could be neat.
It was a lot better, but I don't know. It's just not the same deal.
I feel like Post Malone is like seeing Post Malone live is like listening to the CD, but while he's drunker. like while he's more drunk and
Watch
smoking
him
more
slur the
cigarettes.
shit.
yeah,
Well, I've had friends tell me like all he does is like sip from his cup or his tall can
yeah,
and smoke cigarettes like the entire set.
yeah,
And it's just like, dang, dude, you do that every night while you sing?
yeah. The guy gets a lifetime supply of Bud Light. You know,
Jesus.
like
God bless him for it, man. Lucky bastard. I'd take that sponsorship. Fuck.
Very American.
it's hard to
American of
believe
him.
that like I'm older than that guy. You know what I mean?
Man, that's what
That's what I feel like when I watch
away.
when I watch like
So it really blows you
sports.
away.
It's like look at this kid. And
Oh,
it's
I
like,
know.
Oh shit!
Look at this absolute specimen who would literally rip my arms.
And like looking
out
up
of
to
my
him like
body.
he's in a. I wish I could be that cool when I'm that age. It's like he's like 5 years younger than you. It's like oh shit.
Oh.
well,
wow.
fuck.
Dude, I know this kid. He's from Half Moon Bay, and he is 16 years old, and he's 7 feet tall.
Jesus
And he's
Christ.
already getting scouted for college
That's a huge
ball and
bitch.
stuff. It's so unnerving because he's huge and he's heavy, like he's fairly built, and then he's got the face of like a 12-year-old kid. It's fucking
Curtis?
weird, man.
Yeah.
Curtis, is that you? We have a friend who's like 6'6" and a half if you ask him. But he played college football and everything like that. And he was just
Big-ass
like
kid.
that. Big ass kid, man.
Fuck.
got the young looking face and everything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Shout out Curtis.
Shout out Curtis.
Gotta give it to Curtis. Yeah. It's been some time, but tell everybody where you can consume James Fraser music. Which, by the way, I gotta say, I really like the name selection.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good one. James Fraser.
I just
where can we hear your music? What are the URLs or any plugs you got?
Yeah. first off, thank you so much for saying it correctly.
Oh, yeah, no
That's
problem.
how you say my name.
There's no I.
Oh,
If we were trying to get Kelsey Grammer on the show, I'm pretty sure we have already received the rejection letter.
I'm gonna get you a Christmas present just for that. No,
sorry.
it's James Fraser, Fraser. James Fraser Music on YouTube. YouTube handles Thizzkits, ThizzKitz. You can find it on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music.
And of course, we're gonna have all of these on our posts and on the website. So just make sure you go to Hanging from the Rafters podcast for that. Anybody else you want to shout out, Mom and Dad? You want to have any friends come on the show? I mean, you're always welcome back. You can always call in. You know.
Yeah, this was fun. I would definitely be down to do this again. No, I'd love to come down. It's way better to do it in person.
I got to agree. And you know, if
when Austin's here,
when we get Austin here, we get everybody here, and we usually break it up into like 2 segments. Like just the whole podcast.
Yeah.
And then we put this segment, the musical segment, in the middle of that.
Oh, cool.
But if you come for the regular one, we do like 2-hour-long sessions.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we have some drinks and we smoke up and everything, have a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Always keep me in mind. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Well, we're really
it's a good
glad to
time.
have you, James. Everybody, please take the time to check out James Fraser's music. And we want to thank everybody for listening to our musical segment of You Sing, and You Sing Good. Thanks again, man.
Right on, man.